Stitch Fix. Stop shopping, get styled.
A+ on the outfit, Miss Turner. You are about to slay parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, these? Just the most perfect fitting jeans my stylist sent me.
Oh, hello, you, who didn't set one foot in a mall and still looks amazing.
Just share your size, style, and budget, and your stylist sends personalized looks right to your door. Stitch Fix. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
To my stylist.
This look is dedicated to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Fabio Sementilli.
Big hearts, big voice, big laugh.
A rock star hairstylist who drove a Porsche.
He was like a wizard behind the chair.
But killers came for Fabio in his own backyard.
You can't rationalize it. You can't figure it out.
There was rampant speculation about everything.
But every wild theory was wrong, because the truth was even more unbelievable.
What? Is anyone hearing what I'm hearing?
And even more heartbreaking.
The uncertainty of not knowing is a form of agony.
From Sony Music Entertainment and Novel, this is Cut, Color, Kill. I'm Jonathan Hirsch. Cut, Color, Kill is available now on The Binge. Search for it wherever you get your podcasts to start listening today. Subscribers to The Binge can listen to all episodes, all at once, ad-free.
Listen to all episodes of Where is Daniel Morcombe ad-free right now by subscribing to The Binge. Visit The Binge channel on Apple Podcasts and hit subscribe at the top of the page. Or visit getthebinge.com to get access wherever you listen. The Binge. Feed your true crime obsession.
The Binge.
Campsite Media.
There was nothing unusual about a 13-year-old boy on Australia's Sunshine Coast catching a weekend bus to the Sunshine Plaza, a local shopping center. Standing on the shoulder of a 4-lane highway and flagging down a sky-blue sun bus, it was something of a rite of passage. As long as there was enough space on the side of the road to safely pull over, those buses would stop. The Queensland operator called it the hail and ride policy. What was unusual was what happened on the hot, summer afternoon of Sunday, December 7th, 2003. Ross Edmonds was driving a bus full of passengers down the Nambour Connection Road when its acceleration cable snapped. He pulled over and waited for a replacement bus to arrive. Once it did, the stranded passengers boarded. Jeff Norman, his boss, then gave Edmonds very clear instructions. He said, head straight to the plaza and don't stop for anyone along the way. Norman said he would follow and take care of any pickups. That's why Ross Edmonds didn't stop at the Keel Mountain Road underpass, where he saw a boy in a red shirt, waiting. Edmonds motioned to the boy. He was trying to communicate that another bus was on the way. He radioed back and gave Norman a heads up. Less than 3 minutes later, Jeff Norman arrived at the underpass. But the boy in the red shirt, he was gone. I'm Matt Angel, and from Sony Music Entertainment and Campside Media, this is Where is Daniel Morcombe? Episode 1. Bus 1A. Ready? How did you two meet?
In February 1980, it was the day after Valentine's Day, my girlfriend was going to a place called Lawn in Victoria, and I drove down by myself in my little yellow Gemini. That afternoon, Bruce was on the beach and I said hello to him.
Bruce, you're shaking your head.
I think the first thing
It's heading to too much detail is where I'm thinking.
The first thing I said to Bruce was, "You got red eyes." He must have been a bit sunburned, and he just sort of smiled at me.
I'd been swimming in the surf.
He just smiled at me, and there was nothing more, and we just started talking, and 45 years later, we're still together.
This is Bruce and Denise Morcombe, and this conversation we're having, it's one I've been looking forward to for a very long time. For more than 2 decades, the Morcombes have been known across Australia, but I'm not sure many have ever heard this side of them.
On the Monday when I went to work, the girl said, "Oh, how was your weekend?" I said, "I met a guy called Bruce and we're going to get married." I just sort of knew straight away.
Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know I was doomed at that stage.
Bruce is 5'10". He has a full head of white hair, a matching beard. He is a true blue Aussie. Genuine, loyal, tough. He doesn't give much away. But that's not what Denise saw that day on the beach.
I don't know, he just felt secure and comforting and just a nice person.
Don't let Denise's gentle voice fool you, or her shyness, or her short stature. She is a fireball, and she packs one hell of a punch. This is her telling me about some of the girls she went to high school with.
They thought that a few of us weren't quite good enough to go to their schools. They were fucking bitches, to be honest. But what's that?
But Denise Morcombe is also one of the most caring humans I've ever met. That old phrase about eyes being the window to the soul, I never thought much of it until the first time I met Denise. Her piercing blue eyes are otherworldly. They seem to carry the sorrow of 1,000 lifetimes. And they tell a story I first heard nearly a decade ago. A story with ripple effects that have quietly changed the world. And it deserves to be heard far and wide. Married life for Bruce and Denise Morcombe began in a small flat in Melbourne. They both worked jobs in the city. Before long, they bought their first home. And then, it was time to start a family.
I think I always wanted to be a mother. I said I always wanted to be a mother of boys.
And she got her wish. Their first son, Dean, was born in October 1987. Just over 1 year later, Denise was pregnant again.
At 16 weeks, I had my scan, and I remember the lady in the hospital saying to me, "How financial are you?" And I said, "Why are we having twins?" Because I dreamt about it.
The answer was yes. 2 more boys arrived on December 19th, 1989.
Daniel and Bradley were 8 weeks premature.
This was an emergency birth of twins, so your heart's in your mouth.
The delivery room was packed. 30 people, doctors, nurses. Bradley came first. Minutes later, Daniel was born, but his lungs hadn't fully developed, and he was rushed away.
You try and comfort Denise and say everything will be okay, and you just know you can't contribute to make this better.
They were in the hospital for the next 5 weeks.
I remember walking around the premature ward and so many other really tiny babies there, and you realise how vulnerable life really is.
Once the twins were cleared, the family of 5 settled in at home.
Smile. Daniel.
Having a 2-year-old and then twin boys was very, very busy. You just get up every day and you wash this one, you look after this one, you change the nappy on this one, you feed this one. Yeah, that's just part of life, being a mother, and it's just natural.
You see Humpty Dumpty? Humpty Dumpty Dumpty.
I think Dean was more outgoing, being the older brother, and I think the younger ones looked up to him.
Bradley was always the funny one. Smart, quite talkative, always laughing and joking, and Daniel was more into, he had a great big teddy bear, and whatever Dean was doing, he loved doing.
Can I have a go?
Oh, God, blimey, mate, we've got to turn the bloody thing on.
Can I have a go?
It was a good life, but things weren't always easy.
Bruce was working, I wasn't working. We didn't have any money, so we had to borrow just different things. It was quite difficult at the time.
Bruce's job at a public utility board wasn't bringing in enough to keep them afloat, so he left and bought a Jim's Mowing franchise.
If your garden looks more like a jungle, call your local Jim. Jim's Mowing, the complete same-day gardening service.
Jimbo.
He was gone sometimes 12, 13 hours a day, mowing lawns pretty much from daylight to dark.
Business boomed. They had their footing. And a year later, an offer came in. A swap. Their franchise in Melbourne for the rights to the whole of a region in Queensland. A stunning oasis. The sunny coast.
We took the gamble and we moved up here, and by 2003, we had 56 franchisees running around. And then one day, Bruce and I were going for a drive, and we drove past an open house in Palmwoods, and we drove down this long driveway at this beautiful 2-storey Queenslander, and we looked at each other and said, let's put an offer in.
It was called Camellia Cottage. It was a 5-acre property. They had something like 400 camellia trees or shrubs, as well as some old shedding, huge pineapple packing shed. It was very private off the main road, and the boys could do as they wanted to. It ticked a lot of boxes. It was a great home.
He's right. It was. They took me to see it.
Yeah, you can just see on the right-hand side about 3 metres up. I'll just stick my nose in the driveway. You won't see the house.
Drive down the driveway and do a
See Camellia House?
Yeah, just go for it, Bruce.
What we say? The Morcombes are here.
I haven't seen the house since we left.
You haven't been there?
You haven't been down here?
No.
We're moving down a long driveway through a canopy of lush trees. The air is damp and sticky. Bright, exotic flowers speckle the foliage. Honestly, this is paradise.
There's the house, Matt.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Picture a pale, yellow, 2-story house in the heart of New Orleans' French Quarter. Wraparound balconies on both floors, white wrought iron railings, French doors. And then drop that house into the middle of a rainforest. That is Camellia Cottage.
We loved the place.
Dream home.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Their new life in Palmwoods was the ultimate adventure for the 3 brothers. They saved up and bought motorbikes. There was plenty of land to rip around. There were cows, chickens, horses, even a bull named Hugo.
The boys would get up really early and go and feed, their horses and cows and chickens before getting ready to go to school. I remember looking out the bathroom window. You could see the paddocks down below, and the boys would be in their gumboots like little farmers, slushing through the mud. And I'm not sure how or why it all happened, but it was a bit of a scene from a comedy movie, I think, where everything had escaped. The chickens were sitting on the outdoor furniture. The cow was sitting underneath the trampoline in the shade. The horses were over there eating my favourite camellias. It was just madness.
Daniel helped round up the animals and put them back where they belonged.
He genuinely loved his animals. That's really what it was. He just had that special touch.
He was always a quiet, shy little boy, and sometimes I'd remember him, he'd just walk past and tap me on the shoulder, but he'd be on the other side of me, and I'd turn the wrong way, of course, and he'd laugh and carry on. But no, he liked a good joke and a laugh, and we were pretty close as well, yeah. Want me to find that report card?
Sure. I'm sitting in Bruce and Denise's new home.
There the other day.
They moved out of Camellia Cottage many years ago. It's pristine. Everything is perfectly in its place. Denise told me that she hates dust. And it sits on a peaceful canal. So, not a bad view. Denise shuffles through some papers in a nearby office. She comes back with an overflowing folder. Look at this, math. A plus, A minus, A minus. Art, C.
If he's like his mother, he can't draw.
His teachers seem to really like him. Dedicated, determined, responsible, enthusiastic. Those are just some of the words they used to describe Daniel.
We just had 3 boys. We just thought we were average mum and dad.
We came to the Sunshine Coast, and in particular we're living at Palmwoods, thinking, what an ideal setting.
And it was. Then, December 7th, 2003 arrived. All of that changed.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm gonna give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
We got up early on that Sunday morning and it was a showery day. The boys had organised to do an hour and a quarter fruit picking on the neighbour's farm next door.
This is something the three Morcombe brothers did often, to make a bit of pocket money.
But because it was a showery morning, the farmer phoned us and said, we'll just delay it by an hour.
This complicated things a bit. Bruce and Denise were hosting their business's Christmas luncheon that day at a park down in Brisbane. The whole family were going to leave at 8:30 a.m., allowing them to get there and set up before the franchisees arrived at 11. But with the boys' fruit picking delayed, they'd never be able to leave on time.
So we threw it across to them in a simple family conversation. What would you guys like to do today? They didn't want to go to a crusty old family business luncheon. They wanted to stay at home and perhaps earn a little bit of pocket money.
It was settled. The boys would stay back, pick some passion fruits, and enjoy some downtime.
Because the fruit picking was just next door, as we were going down to the car, you could hear the boys laughing and joking and enjoying life.
Bruce and Denise got their favorite spot in the park. They enjoyed a nice lunch. They had some laughs with friends.
Around 2 o'clock, we're starting to look at each other, rattle the car keys as you do, it's time to go, what do you reckon?
They arrived back home around 4 p.m.
Bradley was home, I think he was on our computer.
And we said, where's Dean and Daniel? And
Bradley said, Dean's gone to the skate park, meeting a couple of friends, he'll be back in a little while. Daniel's gone to the shops, catching a bus. He's going to get a haircut and to buy some Christmas presents.
Back then, in a place like Palmwoods, this was no big deal.
The boys used to catch the bus all the time.
We didn't think anything of it.
But about 4 o'clock, 4:15, I knew something wasn't right. Just had a gut feeling that something wasn't right with Daniel. Just taking the clothes off the line, I thought, it's not right.
Given the bus schedule that day, it made sense that Daniel might not be home yet. But Denise followed her mother's instinct.
Came inside, got in the car and said, I'm going to go see Daniel at the bus stop. Drove to the bus stop, waited 5 or 10 minutes, the bus didn't turn up. Drove a bit further down the road to Woombye.
About a kilometre down the road, she noted a broken down bus.
Came back home. I said to Bruce, there's a broken down bus.
So we waited about an hour. Around about 5:30, I jumped in the car, thinking this is the last bus. I'll rip down to the spot we expect the bus to pass. Daniel will jump off it, save him the walk. Again, no bus. Again, no Daniel.
We thought, shit, something's not right here.
Denise called the bus company. Maybe there was a simple explanation, but there wasn't. She called some of Daniel's friends. Maybe they'd met up with him, but they hadn't. No one had heard from her son. So the family began to search.
We needed to find him. There's probably only an hour or so of daylight left.
We looked in our paddocks, we looked in our shed, we looked up the street, we looked down the street, we looked everywhere for him.
We were thinking, he's dropped his phone card, he's lost his wallet, he's fallen over. We were even thinking he's walking home on the edge of the road and been hit by a car. We were looking down the embankment at the edge of the road thinking, if he's been hit, is he down there?
As their search expanded, so did their fear.
We went back home, checked the boys, no news. I can recall Bradley asking, have you found him yet? No.
We said to Dean and Brad, just stay home, sit tight.
We jumped in the car, drove to the Sunshine Plaza Shopping Centre. We then drove back to Nambour. We did that a couple of times, back and forth, probably around 6:30, heading to 7 o'clock, I dare say. We looked at each other in the front seat of the car and we thought, what are we going to do now?
So I went to the Maroochydore police station and reported Daniel missing.
Police would often wait 24 hours before filing an official missing persons report. The officer, he didn't seem worried. but he told them he would broadcast a BOLF alert. That's Aussie police speak for be on the lookout for.
Question was asked, what was he wearing? We were at a luncheon, so we didn't know what he was wearing.
They were given some reassurances and sent off.
The police officer said, go back home, stay at home. I'm sure he'll turn up.
Their phone rang around 10 p.m. It was the cop from the station. He said an officer was going to come by to check on them.
But apparently they got called to another job and they didn't get there. No police came to our house to see what was going on.
But they did receive another phone call from the police that night. They were told to return to the station at 8 a.m. the next morning to file an official missing persons report.
It was a night that seemed to go on forever.
We had a great big barn. It used to be the original pineapple packing barn for the area. We went there, we had a dam, we had torches, we were walking around the property. We're calling out, we're yelling.
We're trying to work out where could Daniel be.
I sat on the couch most of the night just looking out the window because I couldn't sleep. I know I went to bed at some stage, and I do remember Brad was lying on the floor.
He couldn't sleep, we couldn't sleep.
And then he came on into the bed with us, and that was the first time, and he'd done that for many, many years. I saw Bruce cry for the first time since his father had died. And that was 13, nearly 14 years prior.
We're probably all crying. Yeah. If Bruce cries, something's pretty deep there, yeah.
Denise ended up back on the couch that night, looking through that window. She was waiting for Daniel to appear, to walk down that long driveway. The sun finally rose on Monday, December 8th.
We dropped Dean off at work. Denise and I and Bradley drove to the police station, got there a couple of minutes before 8.
They knocked, but no one was there. Not yet. So they waited in their car. At 8 a.m., Sergeant Laurie Davison arrived.
We observed him going up the stairs, unlocking the front doors. It's not a big police station, it's just a little old weatherboard cottage, really. He walked inside, we followed him inside, introduced ourselves. He progressed to flick on the lights and no doubt the air conditioner and check any information on Daniel.
The short, broad-shouldered cop sat them down and began to ask questions. What did they know? What was Daniel wearing? Where was he going?
It was a little bit intimidating.
No, it
was intimidating to myself because I hadn't been in a police station before. The police officer pretty much went to Bradley, pointed at him, and pretty much pushed his finger into his chest and he said, "You know what happened. You know what happened to your brother. Where's your brother? Where's your brother?"
Yeah. Oh, he cried.
He cried.
Yeah, no, he was gutted. He's lost his twin brother.
Sergeant Davison picked up the phone and he called Sunbus. The Morcombes sat at the small desk opposite him. They were silent. They didn't know who it was Davison was speaking to, or what he was being told. But they knew something was wrong.
It was a moment. I can see it. I can feel him at the Palmwoods police station.
I remember Laurie Davidson's face. I remember that.
You could see the blood draining. He was puzzled and incredibly anxious.
The wheels needed to start turning. Fortunately, they did.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
On Sunday afternoon, a schoolboy set out to buy Christmas presents for his family. 13-year-old Daniel Morcombe hasn't been seen since.
They say the first 48 hours are the most critical in a missing persons case. But here's the truth. Every second is critical in a missing persons case. And the Morcombes could feel those seconds slipping away. The clock was ticking. 9:18 a.m. Sergeant Laurie Davison creates a job log. He writes that Daniel Morcombe had not returned home. Then he informs the Juvenile Aid Bureau.
He said there was a boy in a red t-shirt at the underpass.
9:44 a.m. Daniel's official missing persons report is entered into the Queensland Police Service database.
When we came home, now we had to ask Brad, what do you think Daniel was wearing? And I went through his cupboard and we worked out that he was wearing the red t-shirt with the Billabong signage on it.
10:30 a.m. The first law enforcement officials arrive at the Morcombe residence.
Laurie Davidson came to our house not long after we'd left the police station. He came in and asked for any recent photos of Daniel.
11:18 a.m. An SEM, significant event message, is sent out across the territory. 5 minutes later, at 11:23, a second Be on the Lookout For is broadcast.
When we would ask the police, what's the angle you're pursuing here? They'd say, look, the last place Daniel was seen was at the side of the road waiting for the bus.
12 p.m. Units arrive at the Keel Mountain Road underpass. They dust for fingerprints, collect shoe imprints, snap photographs.
I went and laid down and Bruce came with some homemade chicken soup for me. He said, you've got to eat this, it's going to be a long few days.
1:50 p.m. The Morcombes are given a status update. Police had been dispatched far and wide. A photo of Daniel, along with a brief physical description, was sent out to local TV, radio, and newspapers.
That's the photo of that boy that everyone knows with the blue eyes staring at the camera with his orange cordial.
2:20 p.m. A detective from the Sunshine Coast CIB, a unit specializing in the most complex crimes, is brought in to assist.
Quite a few detectives came to the house, asking questions of Bruce and myself, asking about the boys, asking about the family and our business.
I remember saying, ask whatever questions you want, because if you don't ask the tough questions, you're not doing your job. Test me, test our story, and also test our alibi in terms of, okay, where were you guys? Why weren't you looking after your boys?
Eyewitnesses had put Bruce and Denise at the park outside of Brisbane. Cameras captured them on the toll bridge they crossed. But they understood the reality. These cases could often end with the conviction of a family member.
We're just sitting around the kitchen table, having a bit of a chat. Maybe there were 4 police officers there.
There's about 10 of them there, not 4.
There were a few, yeah.
The whole kitchen table was taken, plus there was a few standing up in the kitchen.
One officer watched from the sidelines. He stood out from the rest.
One of those observers was absolutely staring me down, hanging off the body language, every sound that was uttering from my mouth.
David Hickey was the one that stared you down.
I remember him.
It was quite daunting and intimidating.
It would have been. No-nonsense Detective David Hickey oozes intimidation.
We threw the challenge to the police, find the answers. And if you want to stare me down, by all means. But at the end of the day, maybe you should be staring down somebody else.
Their phones begin ringing. Concerned friends are calling. Daniel's face, that photo of him smiling, it's all over the local news. 4:30 p.m. Officers conduct door knocks in surrounding communities. Additional units from down south prepare to head north.
I remember standing in the garden with all the camellias, the beautiful gardens, looking down in the valley there. There's farmland all around us. There are dams filled with water, and there's police divers and fully kitted out in their wetsuits. And if they find something, he ain't going to be in a healthy condition.
We had big septic tanks and a big water tank under the house. And
it was pretty grim standing there and watching that. There were helicopters buzzing in a grid formation, going north-south and then east-west. They were mapping the terrain, and then at one point the helicopter came in and landed on our front lawn. What the hell's going on here? Like, has he seen something, found something?
To this day, they have no idea what it was all about. But something like that sticks with you.
It's a moment we will never forget.
When I hear a helicopter now, you look up in the sky and it brings back memories of that day. And you see the movies where the Vietnam vets are out there and they hear the helicopters and they have flashbacks and visions. Every time you see a helicopter, same thing happens.
5:30 p.m. Bruce, Denise, Dean, and Bradley return to the police station. They're separated into different rooms, where they each give official written statements. 9 p.m. The Morcombes arrive back home. 10:15 p.m. A knock at the door. More police. This time, coming to seize their computers.
Sam Knight came, 8 o'clock the next morning.
Senior Constable Samantha Knight had been assigned as the liaison officer to the Morcombes. She would be a gentle buffer between this broken family and the outside world. Collect their mail, answer their phones, gather information and relay it back to her colleagues.
And she started asking Brad all these questions and Dean all these questions, and then she started going through Daniel's school bag and finding bits of papers and school newsletters that the boys hadn't given to us, rotten bananas, and found a Christmas card that Daniel had made for us, and she handed that to us as well.
Sam Knight also collected Daniel's DNA.
Yeah, Sam went to the bathroom and wanted Daniel's toothbrush and his hairbrush and comb and one of his caps that he wore so that they could take that to the police station to get his DNA.
There were a lot of difficult moments for Daniel's parents during Sam Knight's first week on the job. But it feels like one in particular haunts Denise. The Friday before Daniel went missing, the boys had planned to go to a skating rink, but a storm hit.
So that was cancelled, and the boys asked whether we could drive to the school and pick up their report cards, but it was just torrential rain. We said, oh, look, we'll just wait for it to turn up in the post on Monday and Tuesday, so they were sort of happy with that. And that Tuesday morning, the boys' report cards arrived in the post. I felt really guilty because I said, oh, we'll just wait till Tuesday, but I think I burst into tears when Sam showed me the report card.
For the Morcombes, time stood still. But behind the scenes, for investigators, things were moving at the speed of light. The case exploded, activating agencies across the territory. The Queensland Police Service, or QPS, the state's primary law enforcement agency, were fully engaged. Detective Inspector Mike Condon was the highly respected manager of the QPS's Homicide Investigations Unit. He arrived on scene that Tuesday morning, December 9th. A major incident room was set up, and Operation Bravo Vista began. In the days to come, arrest teams, investigating teams, intelligence officers, crime scene managers, scientific officers, and state emergency services all jump into action. Witnesses are interviewed, persons of interest are questioned, bushland is searched, and bit by bit, detectives start to build the case. The twins' 14th birthday arrived on December 19th. It had been 12 days since Daniel was last seen. The family didn't feel like celebrating, but two local priests, Father Joe and Father Yarn, they encouraged them to do something for the boys, for the family.
I found the boys 3 baptism candles. I had them at home. They set up like a little table in the front yard, and Bradley lit the 3 candles, and then we were sitting there saying a couple of prayers with the priests. One of the candles just flickered and went out.
When the candle blew out, we just looked at each other, thought, wow, that's Daniel's candle, that's a sign.
3 candles lit and one just went out. I think I just stared at it, didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say.
Just a freakish puff of wind, of course. We know that. But why didn't all 3 blow out? Why didn't 2 blow out? Why didn't they just flicker and be okay? But 1 blew out. That was a sign that he ain't coming home.
This season, we'll peel back the layers of one of the largest and most haunting investigations in Australian history.
Who's ever responsible had picked on the wrong family, we're going to hunt you down.
For the first time, Daniel's parents share with a global audience their journey to uncover what happened to their son.
He said it's going to be a long few days. We didn't know it was going to be a long 12 years.
A decade-long battle to uncover what happened to Daniel Morcombe.
In that moment when a child is going through the worst moments of their life, there's clues. Find the clues, find the child.
To hunt down whoever was responsible.
There were over 700 persons of interest. It was absolutely enormous.
And to bring them to justice.
The largest investigation ever in Queensland probably was. Was it the best investigation? Probably not.
As a covert operative, you can't be not called a liar because you're living a lie. And everything you do is a lie. So you're a trained liar. That's what it's all about.
The master deceiver was deceived and manipulated himself.
It's been a wild ride, I tell you. I've been there since day one. It's been a wild ride.
Unlock all episodes of Where is Daniel Morcombe ad-free right now by subscribing to the Binge podcast channel. Not only will you immediately unlock all episodes of the show, but you'll get binge access to an entire network of other great true crime and investigative podcasts, all ad-free. Plus, on the first of every month, subscribers get a binge drop of a brand new series. That's all episodes, all at once. Search for The Binge on Apple Podcasts and hit subscribe at the top of the page. Not on Apple? Head to getthebinge.com to get access wherever you listen. Where is Daniel Morcombe is a production of Sony Music Entertainment and Campside Media. It was hosted, reported, and co-written by me, Matt Angel. Joe Barrett is the managing producer and co-writer. Grace Valerie Lynette is the associate producer. Additional production support from Tiffany Dimmack. The series was sound designed, composed, and mixed by Garrett Tiedemann. Our studio engineer is Trino Madriz. Fact-checked by Tracy Lofgren Lee. A special thanks to Ashley Ann Krigbaum and Doug Slaywin, and our operations team. Ashley Warren, Sabina Mara, and Destiny Dingle. Campside Media's executive producers are Josh Dean, Vanessa Gregoriadis, and Matt Scher. Sony's executive producer is Jonathan Hirsch. For Pacesetter Productions, the executive producer is Jessica Rhodes. Allison Momassi and Brian Daly are the associate producers. For Mad Jimmy Productions, the executive producers are me, Matt Angel, and Suzanne Coote. Consulting producers are Dan Angel, Lee Parker, and Andrew Fairbank. If you enjoyed Where is Daniel Morcombe, please rate and review the show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you'd like to make a donation to the Daniel Morcombe Foundation, please visit danielmorcombe.com.au.